It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got the Vikings leader at quarterback. He's gone over 4,000 yards passing now for the year. It's the
newest venues, but it's already earned a reputation as one of its best. This is US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple of QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over them for big yardage, maybe 6 points too.
Jake Bates now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Minneapolis. He fields it from the 8. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So here come the Eagles for their opening drive. They'll be led out by an elite runner, one of the game's top dual-threat young quarterbacks. He was taken second in 2024, Jaden Daniels.
Just an all-around great performance from him last week, Kate, in the win. Those 2 touchdowns he had played a big part in the victory, no question. But so did keeping it clean, not throwing a pick. You want to become friendly with your own defense? Make sure they don't have any extra possessions to defend. He did his job, and so did his teammates.
And he's short of the first after a mild gain. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Oh, looks like the defense got a little too excited there, and that's going to be a penalty.
Encroachment, defense.
So keep that 2nd and short play in your back pocket. So the penalty goes ahead and gives them the first.
Automatic first down.
New set of downs for him at the 38. They'll run here following the penalty. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Now we'll take a moment to check out his numbers on the ground from a week ago. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Daniels. Roman Wilson reels it in. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. 1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Now an inside handoff to Swift. And he'll get this through the midfield stripe and starts pushing into Vikings territory. Halfway there on 1st down, that brings up 2nd and 5. Staying grounded with Swift. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. They get 6 and a 1st down as well.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
1st and 10 from the 41. Here's Daniels. That is caught by Brian Thomas Jr. And he's taken down at the 30. They get an even 10 on that play. And that's good for an Eagles 1st down. Putting one of the tight ends in motion right. Daniels on 1st down. That's caught. Here's Deuce Vaughn. And they get him right at the line of scrimmage.
Defense all over that throw. You could just smell it. They just smelled that football coming their way, and that's as good as an incompletion. And they're going to be in a good spot. 2nd down coming up.
Well, it looks like the defense jumps just before the snap there.
Encroachment, defense.
So he jumped too early, and that's going to cost him 5 yards.
Still 2nd down.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Out of the gun, Daniels. Into traffic, complete. That one gains 7. And that's a Philadelphia first down. Working inside the red zone. The throw is caught. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2. That's a pickup of 17 yards, partner, and it makes it 1st and goal.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Swift. And he can only manage 1 yard. The defenders were at the ready to bring him down.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
And he's in for the touchdown. The Eagles finish up an excellent opening series. DeAndre Swift, the touchdown. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start to a game than that. The offense taking it all the way down the field and finishing with 6.
These opening drives, Kate, are such tone setters. It is why every offense loves to script their first 15 plays, right? Everybody knows what's coming. Allows you during the practice week to get into rhythm, but even better when you're that sharp, that crisp, and you finish off and get the early lead.
That one right down the middle. And the Eagles will jump out to a 7-0 lead. On the return, here's Jones. Return's looking good so far. The tackle's made, so this drive will begin at the 34-yard line. So we'll see the Vikings offense now for the first time. They'll be led out by the pilots of this offense, their rookie quarterback from Michigan.
Last week, Kate, you won't call his effort wasted, never. But you wish a game like that would have come in a win instead of showing up in a contest they ended up dropping. 2 touchdowns, no picks. That's the type of game that wins are typically built off of.
Opening carry for Devon Achane. And the plunge up the gut yields nothing there. 2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here.
2nd and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Achane again. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Patrick Queen arranging in for the tackle. Call that a modest improvement. 3 yards that time, but still a 3rd and 7 upcoming. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Finds him over the middle. And he's going to be brought down at the 42.
Those kind of completions are so frustrating, Kate. It's like a putt. You got it on line, you feel good about it's going in the hole, but you never want to leave it short.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. This one is fair caught, but let's see what that flag's all about. This drive may not be done.
Foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
A fortunate break for them as they get a gift with roughing the kicker. Their offense heading back out to keep things going.
Automatic first down.
This drive should have been over, partner, but running into the punter gives them new life and this first down. Running it after the penalty. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line.
Even though that run did not net them a first down, I can promise you this, Kate. I promise you. I know how it works. They're going to circle that one. They're going to remember that one. And when they need some key yards on the ground, they'll come back to that call later.
Throw left side, complete. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
All right, I'll set up now. 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Bails out of the pocket quick. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense. And now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin because we know Pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Trying again, following the sack. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. Throwing now from the gun. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means fourth down coming up.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Bates' kick is up and good. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Now for the second time this game, we're going to look at the Philly offense. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Daniels. Escapes the pocket. He takes it himself.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock. You know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm. Especially in a situation like that, it's a good thing you woke up to it. Able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
Finds his running back, DeAndre Swift. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. We're a quarter of the way through on this chilly winter afternoon. 7-3 is our score. More from US Bank Stadium after the break. Ready now for our second quarter. The Eagles have the football. They've got 1st and 10 here, looking to add to their lead. They're on the counter with Swift. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
And he'll be brought down after getting it to the 47-yard line. They're now set for 1st and 10. They bring a tight end in motion right. On 1st down, here's Daniels. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. To throw, Daniels. That's knocked away by a defender, incomplete. Ryan Thomas Jr., his intended target. That's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long. Again, Daniels to the air. He's on the move. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Those defenses spend all week trying to find that numbers advantage. How can I get a guy free? Or how do I get my best rusher in a one-on-one to beat him and get home and get that sack? That was study put into action for the SACK.
Jordan Stout's headed out to punt it away on 4th. And we'll see how his debut offering goes. He bunted 3 times in the win last week, and this one is away. He's fielded at the 14. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The Vikings, and they're wide out, headed to the field for a new series. And this truly has been an excellent campaign for him, sitting among the NFL's top 5 in receiving yards. They're out and set, 1st and 10. They send the tight end in motion left. They go play action on 1st. Cut out left. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. He'll move the sticks after ripping off a gain of 28. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Shotgun snap, they're going to throw. Completed over the middle. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And it'll bring up a Minnesota first down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Play action on first down. Throwing this back in the end zone. That's much too high and out of the end zone. Incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. And now it's second down. Tight end going in motion here. 2nd and 10 now. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete.
Well, I'll tell you what that deflection is all about is following the quarterback's eyes. DB knew where that throw was going. With that intuition, he's able to get a hand on it and send it right out of bounds.
And they take him down right along the 30.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow. One of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm. No better way to feel good. Get into that rhythm and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Things trim back down to a single point, Brock, as they send this off and away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now the Eagle offense headed back out to the field. Here. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Throwing now. Daniels has him on the quick hitter. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
To the left side and reeled in by Wilson. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
1st and 10 now. Here's Daniels. Collins there to grab it. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Out of the shotgun to give to Swift. And he's officially in enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. 1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. From the gun, it's Daniels. Fits it through the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. This one goes for an even 25 yards. And that's good for an Eagles first down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Daniels back to throw. Short pass brought in. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. It's a gain of 12 there. And that's a Philadelphia first down. Early movement along the right side. The flag comes out.
Ball start. Offense.
So tough to stay set when you've got defenders doing everything they can to make you jump, and well, they got one of them to move that time. Throwing from the gun here. Cut near the goal line. It's a Philadelphia touchdown. So this solid first half continues for them. They're into the end zone to extend their advantage.
And I think if you're a head coach here, Kate, you've got to be very happy with the effort so far. They've come out strong. They've been the ones dictating the tempo, and as a result, they add to the scoreboard.
Now they'll try to knock the extra point through. The point after splits the uprights. And the Eagles grow their lead to 8. The kick team out there for the Eagles, and this one is sent away. On the return, here's Jones. He's stopped on the return at the 27. Now the Minnesota offense trotting out. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Airing it out to start this drive. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
One of the biggest adjustments for quarterbacks going from the collegiate level to the NFL is the blitz package. Each and every practice leading up to a game time, you are spending so much time as a QB, as an offensive group, and as that O-line trying to figure out a way to stop these blitzes. But that time, the offense, the O-line, the QB, no one had an answer for that defensive pressure.
After the sack, another pass on second down. And that one's behind him. That's incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. So they're left facing third and long. Trying to throw here out of the gun. Complete out to the right side. And he rips off good yardage, but it will not move the chains.
It's fourth down.
Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their first. And they'll have 2 left to work with here in the first half. Minnesota lined up in punt formation. And this will be his first effort of the contest. His work begins at the 31. And he gets forward for 3 yards as we reach our 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Out of the gun, Daniels. Throw right side, caught by Wilson. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
Daniels on first down. That's Thomas. He's got it. And they're going to hold him down just shy of the 40. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Toward the sideline and caught by Wilson. And he'll go out of bounds close to the 35-yard line. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Play fake here, Daniels. Complete out to the right. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop. A 70-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. All right, set now, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Daniels. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. In the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete. So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Again, Daniels to the air. On the move. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. The Vikings call a timeout. It'll be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Out comes the field goal unit. The Eagles trying for 3. This a 50-yard look from the right hash. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And it's now a two-possession game as the lead grows to 11.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
The Vikings getting one more drive here before the break. And with field position and the clock against them, probably not going to see anything of substance here before halftime. 19 seconds remain in our opening half. Let's see what they do with it. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Offense at the line, but they won't snap it. We've got a timeout. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. Caught him across the line early there. That's an easy call for our officials.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
He thought he had the timing down and could make the play, but just a hair too early. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there when you saw the field. It's going to be second down.
Brings up second down and 5 yards to go.
Looking to throw. And this falls.
So effective. Getting a completion in that area, and not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
And they really went for it on third down, didn't they? But the heave falls incomplete. Now they're facing fourth down. So as we reach halftime, we see the visiting Eagles taking a lead into the break. Now we'll send you south to our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Reports with Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Kate, we'll get back to you and Brock in a bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was the Lions who were able to come away with the home victory. Jaden Reed, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And as you see, they were winners earlier this afternoon. 24-10 was your final. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks let a few too many slip away over the course of the year, but a victory there does get them back to 8-8 with 1 game to go. We watched a solid performance out of running back DeAndre Swift. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Thanks so much for the look around the league, Coach. But now it's time to turn our attention back to this one as we begin the third quarter. Returning it from the 4. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. First and 10 now from the 30. They'll start the drive with Achane. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Here's 2nd and 11. It's incomplete. Should have been a catch downfield, but off his hands and to the ground it goes. No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Back to throw. The screen pass falls incomplete.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL where they come down to a play or two and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
Hunter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. The Eagles and QB Jaden Daniels headed out for their next look on offense. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. Here's Swift to start the drive. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
They got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Flushed out of the pocket. And he gets it forward to still about a yard out of that. Jalen Phillips finishing that play off. Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Throwing now, Daniels. Oh, she missed over the middle there. Lucky that one didn't end up worse. That's swept away, incomplete.
You know, it's tough to succeed at linebacker in most defenses if you can't hold your own in coverage. They rely on you to break up throws just like that and take some of the stress off the secondary.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. That one an impressive 57-yard kick. And it's going to be Vikings football. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They'll send him over right. Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And he's brought down for a loss.
He was taken down.
Can I have a moment, Kate? Just a moment to marvel at how well they reacted to that play on defense. They were all over it from the start, getting behind the line to blow up a play that how many times do we see as highlight reel touchdowns going the other way?
Keep pushing the ball down the field.
Putting the tight end in motion. They're going play action. Finds him on the crossing route. And it's a nice game, but still not enough for the first. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. They'll throw it. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
H.N., a 1st down carry. And he's got a modest gain up to the 41-yard line. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
From the 41. Connects on the crosser. And he takes it in for the Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Vikings electing not to kick it. The offense staying out there. They're going for 2. They send one of the tight ends in motion right. He's throwing for it. And he goes down. The pressure gets home, and they will not take another 2 off that lead.
You spend all week on 2-point plays, trying to get to your best options, but ultimately sometimes the execution of that pass, it doesn't work.
That's going to be taken in at the 8. This return makes it up to the 25. The Eagles ready to set up shop on offense. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Quick throw, right side, complete to start this drive. And it's going to be about a 3-yard pickup in the end. Brought down by Deron Bland. 2nd down now, 7 to go. From the 28. He's got him, that's Swift. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the gain, and the drive continues forward. 1st down, ball at the 36. From the gun, it's Daniels. Throw reeled in by Thomas. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs. Football on that 47-yard line, first down. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. That's complete to Wilson. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Out of the gun, Daniels. Got a man, it's Thomas. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that first down right there.
Daniels on first down. Into traffic, complete. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. 2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 39. Connecting on the slant. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down. Here's Daniels. Wilson's got it. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Brought down by Deron Bland. 2nd and 6 coming up here. They motion the tight end over. From the 22 on 2nd down. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
They'll set up here for the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Eagles push the lead up to 12. The kick team out there for the Eagles, and this one is sent away. On the return, here's Jones. Now bottle him up as he gets the return to the 30. The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideouts. 1st and 10 now from the 30. A tight end in motion now. On first down, they're going to start out with Achane. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Let's put 6 on the board, fellas.
So we're through 3 here. It's Vikings football. They're down, but not out on the scoreboard. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 38. Short pass brought in. And he'll get it up to the 44. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Time to shine, fellas.
Setting up a throw. Looking slant route, complete. And he reaches midfield and starts driving into Eagles territory. 2nd and 3 now.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Eagles' 49-yard line.
Pass play coming here. This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it. That forces 3rd down.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He has the first over the middle. And they take him down right along the 30. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On third down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity. Man, did he make an impact play.
First and 10 now from the 30. They are throwing it again. That's caught. Devon Achane. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22. After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short.
At the 22-yard line.
They'll throw it again. That's incomplete for the moment. We do have a flag down, but it might not be good news for their offense. That's usually where we see holding calls. So the refs get him for holding, and that's going to back this offense up. Second and 12 behind the sticks. Finds him over the middle. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line.
Okay, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes, just like that.
And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that's going to give the Vikings the first down. From the red zone now. This one's caught. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes...
And that's a Minnesota touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Not much luck trying for two. This time they'll send out the kicking team. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Vikings trim the deficit down to 5. So after making this a 5-point ball game, they kick it off. He fields it from the 8. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The Eagles ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this, couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. One of the tight ends motioning right. Drive starts with a quick throw left, complete. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down. Shotgun snap to Daniels. Finding Collins. And he's going to be marked down about 4 yards away from that first down marker. 2nd and 3 now. From the 41. He goes back to him yet again. Complete. And he's tackled for a short gain. Vikings defense countering with a nickel look. 3rd down coming. Again, Daniels to the air. Complete beyond the marker. And he's able to cross midfield before going out. That's a pickup of 9. And that's good for an Eagles first down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
First and 10 now. Here's Daniels. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. Second and 3 now. From the gun, it's Daniels. Too much lead on that throw. That falls incomplete ahead of his target. This one misses the tight end. And now they'll face a 3rd and 3. Now Daniels off the play action. Here's pressure, and he's dropped by the Vikings. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Kate, the game wasn't on the line with that series. But don't tell the defense, because they brought the urgency and juice like it was. Getting the sack, setting up 4th down, well, it picks everybody up on that sideline. And now their offense gets a chance in a one-score game.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense ready to set up shop again. They really had the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit on this series.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive downfield. I love the call. I love pushing the ball down the field. But the windows in the throwing lanes aren't there long. And it only takes a little bit for a throw to be off.
Throwing the out route complete. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Here's a throw. Completed over the middle. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. Well, we see the medical staff headed out there now. We're going to get a timeout as they handle an injured player. Not what you want to see so close to the end of the season. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. One of the tight ends in motion left. 2nd down carry for H.A. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
These aren't the plays that will lead highlight reels, but they're the ones that win you ball games. What a nice game by the back. And now his offense can go in any number of directions on 1st and 10.
They'll throw on 1st. Able to find H.A. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning left for them. We've got 1st and 10. It's the 2-minute warning here in Minneapolis. Vikings facing a 5-point deficit. 1st down, ball at the 36. They'll try and throw it here. Taking a deep shot there on 1st down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Setting up to pass. Dialing up a receiver screen. And this one does not go far.
How's your block shedding out there, boys? Because they need to get through some blocks to hang that screen up quickly. And they were Johnny on the spot.
Now to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. The Vikings call a timeout. It'll be their first. Here he is to throw. H.A. reels it in.
With that down the distance, this group was pretty confident the screen would get him enough yards for the first, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
He'll look to throw it. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on 1st down. So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Back to throw. This throw is caught. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on the throw, that's a go-to route to target.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, if you couldn't do it.
And that one's going to be knocked away, and that's going to force a change in possession. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. The Eagles and Brian Thomas Jr. readying for another drive on offense.
The quarterback's so worried about challenging the DBs in coverage, he didn't keep an eye on the lineman in front of him. He threw it right towards him, and it was easy to get a pop and swat away a potential first down.
First down, here's Swift. And this one doesn't go far. Minnesota spends its second time out here. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Going run again with Swift. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. Now the Vikings use their third and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. Defense with an excellent opportunity at a stop here on 3rd down. Running behind center with Swift. And he's able to get it to the 21 as he goes down. Give him 13 on that play. And that's a Philadelphia first down. So the Eagles will fly out of here with a road win. This is the type of game everyone was hoping they'd see when they entered this stadium, Brock, you and I included. A close one that went all the way down to the final whistle.
And Kate, this is one of the bigger adjustments a college player has to make to the NFL. In college, you get a lot of blowouts. The NFL, every game you get calloused because you know more often than not they'll be like this, a one-possession game that's not about how you start. It's all about how you finish.
And with Brock Heward and our EA Sports crew, I'm Kate Scott saying so long from this one. The Eagles are winners as we bid you farewell from Minneapolis.